Hey, Matt, good to see you. Had a little hang up there with the privacy setting for the stream was set to unlisted. Keith, good to see you. Yeah, so it took me a second to figure out how to get that change. I went to the right spot to change that setting like 4 times. Didn't realize that there was a scroll bar I couldn't see, and everything I needed was down hidden underneath. So we have got that going now.
In a toy shop full of dread, screams loud enough to wake the dead. Lightning flash on a TV screen, laugh crackling long and mean. That girl has got a taste for fear, the red horror of yesteryear. She's making on little toys for all the devil's little girls and boys. She's coming now. The wind it has gone out. It's time to play with Ruby Tombsday. With Ruby Tombsday.
So latency is set to ultra low. So that's really great. The stream health is showing really great. And on the top of the line excellency rating, but I don't know that anything is going through. Okay, well, good. I'm glad you see the opening video because I'm not getting it where I'm going, but I'm going to go operate through what I'm seeing in OBS and we'll go from there. I'll just have to keep popping back and forth so I can see the chat. So thank you guys for being here tonight. I know it was like an almost no kind of notice situation. But I just got a wild hair this week that I just desperately wanted to get back to doing something this week and didn't know what it was until like a day or two later. So for those of you who didn't already get the message, what we're doing tonight is the 1928 The Telltale Heart. I love Edgar Allan Poe. He spent a lot of his life here in Philadelphia, actually. Although, of course, the biggest part of his story is always going to be in Boston. Now, one of the things that I find fascinating, again, that I did not realize till recently, is the fact that he inherited as a gift a raven from Charles Dickens. That was a pet, a raven named Grip, and that raven has was handed as a gift down to Poe, which is now on display. That actual raven here in Philadelphia at the Parkwell Central branch of the Free Library of Philadelphia in the Rare Books Department. So if you ever have it in Philadelphia, I really do recommend the Parkwell Central Library. It is one of the most amazing libraries I've ever been to in my life. We've been to a couple of functions there as well. So always support your local libraries. Can't stress that enough. In particular, though, this one is worth making a trip to Philadelphia for. Um, they have a huge music department. This is a library where you can go in and not only check out books on music, but you can check out sheet music as well. You can check out albums, LPs, CDs, cassettes, 8 tracks. All of these are available at this library. But on top of that, you can also check out musical instruments themselves. Even as I understand it, they have recording equipment. You can check out mixers, this kind of thing. On top of that, there's the rare books department. They've got a huge. The first floor is dedicated to music and to fiction. Then they've got a whole floor dedicated to nonfiction. Then they've got the rare books. They've got a research department. There's even like labs in the building that you can use for cooking. So it's all kinds of stuff in there. And of course, famously, there is a stage there in the building too where um, Joe Bob himself has done a couple of shows there now, I think. I know he did How Rednecks Saved Hollywood. He did another traveling lecture um, this past summer, I believe that past summer, maybe it was last autumn. I forget. Um, haven't managed to make it work, because you can imagine those shows go fast. I think it's only about a 300 seat venue, more or less. That said, I'm already talking to their arts department head about possibly doing a live Ruby Tombsday show there sometime, probably 2027 at the earliest. Um, yeah. Bubba Hotep, that's right. Um, so yeah, forgive the lag if I'm getting late to your messages here. This stream seems to be running about 30 seconds or so behind where I'm seeing it. So I've just got to carry on with it at that speed. So here we go. Um, but I do want to be doing a show there live at some point. It's been a dream to do a live show, but of course, reserving a venue is prohibitively expensive. Even if you're just doing something like a small family reunion or a reception or things like this for a venue here in Philly, you're looking at $3,000 and going up in most places. Whereas this is a place where I might actually be able to just, reserve the space by making arrangements with them, and then arrange like ticket sales or something like this. Not even to make money for me, but just as a way to give donations back to the library. I think it'd be a really cool way to do that. Cover whatever actual direct cost we have, and then anything else just goes back to the library. I think would be amazing. If I do that show, it's probably going to be either the 1910 Frankenstein, or it's going to be the still yet to be completed full-length version of the 1922 Jekyll and Hyde. And that is in the works. That's still coming. I've been beating my head against that wall for a while now. But anyway, as that information comes up, I will, of course, be sharing it with y'all. Okay, I have a confession here to make. And I know I've told some of you, I don't know how outright I've been with all of it, but I have only ever seen one Scream film. I've seen the original part one. I've not seen any of the sequels. And when I've brought this up before, it's caught me a lot of dirty looks, which I kind of have coming. But also a lot of, only this one is worth watching, or only these ones, or skip this one. And what I've noticed is that if you have 3 Scream fans in the room, you're going to have at least 2 separate opinions on which ones count and which ones don't. And the funny thing is, I have a Hawaiian print batik shirt that I've got. I got at Walmart for like $11, something like this. And it has Ghostface hidden in the floral print all over it. I get a lot of comments on that shirt. So I really need to make an honest golem of myself eventually, sit down and watch the other 6 films now? But I've seen Scary Movie twice. I figured that's got to count for at least one of the sequels, right? Anyway, before I dig myself any deeper with that line of thought, tonight's film is a short film. That's the reason I was able to knock it out in basically about 36 hours. Didn't settle on what we're doing until late Tuesday night. Wednesday, I was completely unable to work. Had to be out of the house for an errand, and that took a number on me. I ended up having to rest the rest of the day. So basically, Thursday and Friday, I scrambled this thing together. I hear that about Spyglass Studios. I don't know that I've got enough of an opinion on Spyglass myself. I don't have enough awareness about them to have an opinion on myself yet. But John, you've never steered me wrong before, and I'm. See, I loved the first. I shouldn't say I loved. I enjoyed. I won't say I loved. I enjoyed the first Scream film because at that time it was the original concept. I liked that idea, and Matthew Lillard, I will watch anything that he's in. So I enjoyed it from that standpoint. That was a fun idea. That was a cool idea. Okay. And then I heard they were doing a second one. It's like, how with that premise? How do you turn that? And then I read up a little bit on the second and third one. Okay, well, I guess that kind of makes sense. But after that, it's just like, really, what? I don't know. I don't know. But I've watched so many garbage films happily that something that has that large a fan base, I should at least make an attempt to sit through the. Yeah, yeah. Well, that wasn't that. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Matt. I kind of feel that way too. Um, but I don't know. It hasn't attracted me enough to make me want to go ahead and do the rest of the franchise. But I should probably invest at that at some point. Um, Speaking of things I do enjoy, though, uh, Jeff and I are notorious for our Shark Nights. That you guys have been there for just about all of them, I believe. I think we're at uh, 7 so far Shark Nights, which means 14 shark movies that we've done together. Um, we are planning on doing another one soon. We're hoping to do Water Park Shark together. We don't have that date nailed down yet. It's still in post production, if memory serves, so we don't have a release date where it'll be streaming where we can go see it. I know that there's a couple new Jeff Kirkendall and Polonia Brothers shark movies out. So we've got those to try to get under our belts soon too. So there will be an eighth Shark Night coming up sometime in the next few months. But more importantly, tomorrow on uh, Sinful Sundays with Sarah Sin and Bat Quinn, they're going to be doing Deep Blue Sea, which, believe it or not, is one of the few popular shark movies that I've just not seen. For whatever reason, it completely is just it wasn't on my radar at all when it first came out. And it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I should check that out. Well, I've got this other movie I need to take care of first, and one of those it keeps getting swept under the proverbial rug. So hopefully we're going to be changing that because I'm hoping to tune in for Sinful Sundays tomorrow. Um, so check that out. I believe their start time is 8:30 on Sunday night Eastern time. Um, so that's definitely worth dropping in on. Um, and it looks like I have no idea when, but it looks like I might be doing something with Mr. Lobo from Cinema Insomnia. Shout out if anybody is a fan of Mr. Lobo watching tonight or watching this on replay. Um, Tonight is the big 25th anniversary night for his show. Cinema Insomnia has been running now for 25 years, which is, as all y'all is an incredible accomplishment in the horror hosting world. So much so that he actually got an in-character, in-makeup video congratulating him from Sven Gulli himself. Rich Coase, the one who currently plays Sven Gulli, has been doing the show now for pushing 50 years. And Rich Coase has actually been on Cinema Insomnia with Mr. Lobo, I think 3 times, maybe 4, as other characters and a couple times as himself. But since the television studio owns the Svengoolie character, he's never been able to be on the show as Svengoolie. But for this anniversary, the studio gave Rich the okay to go ahead and get dressed up on set in full makeup as Sven and send a congratulations message to Mr. Lobo. I thought that was really just absolutely amazing. So shout out to Mr. Lobo, shout out to Sven Gulli for all these years in the business and still being at it. These are heroes of mine, and I wouldn't be doing what I was doing if they didn't do what they do. So, all of that said, I have rambled now for a good long while. I have talked almost as long as our movie actually runs tonight, and we will get back to that. This is an American example of German expressionism, which is one of my all-time favorite genres of horror film, or just film in general. I absolutely adore it. Um, You'll see signs of that in some of the Frankenstein movies, not the 1910 that we covered, but the Warner Brothers era Frankenstein films. Of course, the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which we also have done here on the show. I love that kind of look. So this is a great example of the American entry in that genre. It is very straightforward. It is very dark room, very literally. And you'll see what we mean. I think it's a fun film. The riffs are a little lighter tonight than we might have done in some other films, but this is one of those where you kind of have to let scenes breathe. So I had a good time doing it. I hope you have a good time watching it. And with all of that said, let me go ahead and get us started. I've been certified by several fine institutions, such as Penhurst, Waverly Hills, Arkham, Bedlam. Fun fact, children, the average person reads about 260 words per minute for fiction. The full length of the publication of The Telltale Heart was 2,150 words. So this means that the average person would read the full length story in 8.3 minutes, give or take. That's less than half the runtime of this film. Eyes without a face. We can't read it through your eyes. The audience hasn't got a clue. Ah, Kaiju Kitty! It's the ghost of Arlo Guthrie. Patty corpse, dead old man. Put you in a grave as fast as I can. You know, murder's a lot like going antiquing. It's like, okay, that was fun, and now where am I going to put this thing? The kaiju cat came back the very next scene. Whoa, trippy. Who are you guys? Synchronized haberdashers? Of the Secret Society of Synchronized Haberdashers? Dum dum. So not haberdashers then. He's really putting the lie and lie down to sleep. Ew. Dum dum. My God, he's turning into Christopher Lloyd. So please, officers, make yourselves at homicide. Home. Home. But of course, sir, please do continue explaining criminology to us detectives. So, and we're back. So, there we have the bizarre. I don't know if masterpiece is the right word or not, but the bizarre experience of the Telltale Heart through the eyes of German Expressionism. Now, this is not the weirdest. Uh, the weirdest film of its type that I've watched with our friend John from Narcotic Casserole, we covered Dr. Caligari. And by this, I don't mean the cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I mean the absolute mindfuckery that is just Dr. Caligari. Chinchilla is all I have to say about that. God, that was a fantastic time. So, but yeah, I do want to talk about German Expressionism. Now, I know it's not the most beloved subgenre now. It's kind of written off as just too of its time and too over the top. But I mean, look at me. Over the top is not something of which I am afraid. But scale has to do with a lot of it. One of the things that they do, of course, all of the angles that you see, walls, furniture, doorways, everything is at bizarre angles all of the time. Nothing is straight. Everything is designed to keep the watcher kind of unnerved, but it is so engrossing. It definitely creates a mood pretty instantly, pretty simply, frankly, because you could do German expressions well with just about no budget. If you can afford poster board, you're pretty much there, because you can build just about any set. And again, the Dr. Caligari of which we speak says that pretty well. But scale is another thing, like the scene with the cat, the kaiju kitty, going across what is ostensibly rooftops. This cat would have to be the size of Clifford the Big Red Dog. The cat would have to be huge, because chimneys and smokestacks and rooftops and everything are absolutely minuscule in comparison, both before and behind it. You see I don't want to say hero, but our lead, laying on the floor playing with dice while he's got a fresh corpse under the floorboard. And I don't understand how people would do that. I mean, who's just going to be laying around playing with oversized dice? Who has such... Never mind. Anyway, the room is claustrophobic. Even floorboard corpses aside, the room is absolutely claustrophobic. And I love that tight, closed-in feel. Again, it serves the story so well that I just can't get enough of it. I absolutely love it. Let's see here. Yeah, it is just about impossible to forget Dr. Caligari. And I would love to revisit that one, actually. I would have to do that maybe bring up my old Discord server again, something like that. Because I would love to revisit that movie, but do it with Forbidden Zone. I think the two of those in a back-to-back would be the screwiest double feature since Things and Sledgehammer. I think that would be I think it would take time to recover. I think intoxicants of some variety are probably required. For me, Sleep Dep will do it. Somehow I just had this feeling that you would be on board with that, Narc. Yeah, that's something we need to look at doing. I know you're about to go in an extremely busy part of the year with what you've got coming up. We're still getting stuff ready for November, etc. I don't know what we can and can't talk about there, but I know that's going to be huge. So, talk to me at your leisure, and we'll see what we can set up. To my knowledge, the only other thing I've got booked right now that I remember anyway, I don't have notes in front of me. I've got another, I think, 2 appearances on podcasts in October. Also, I need to get on that too. I'm supposed to be putting together a series of podcasts with Sarah Sin from Sarah Sin Horror Menagerie. Supposed to be getting together with her because we were talking about doing a series on Firefly, the Joss Whedon series. Because of the fact that I'm a diehard dyed-in-the-wool brown coat, the plus or minus of Joss Whedon himself aside, I will admit that I love Firefly and everything around it. And Sarah Sin has never seen a single episode of the show, nor has she seen Serenity. Okay, cool. So, I got together with John with of Narcotic Casserole Productions, What's in the Podcast, all that wonderful stuff. Friend of the show and longtime co-conspirator. I mean, collaborator. I mean, yeah. Anyway, and I got to come on for. He's going to be doing Double November this November, and he's doing basically all of the James Bond movies straight through, with guests to talk about each one. And I got together with him to go and discuss Live and Let Die. Surprise! I'm pointing at myself a lot tonight. Have you noticed? But I really had a great time with studying that one, watching that movie, talking about it with. And that was some of the most fun I've ever had on his show, and I've been on the show a lot and always had a great time. Conspirator is that we get up to shenanigans. Yeah, it was so much fun. So yeah, so that will be coming up. Be sure to watch that. Not just because not my episode, but that whole series is going to be phenomenal. It's absolutely great when someone who knows the material that well and loves a franchise that well gets to sit down and spend that kind of deep dive on it. That is something special. Like if you remember Crowskill, who was my friend Mike Brown. Oh, that's right. We had the Witchfinder General episode. Oh, that was something awesome. That was so much fun. If you remember Crowskill from the show, that predominantly back in the old Stream Lounge era, we were on a podcast with Nerdwife for a few years called The Nerding Instinct. And we did a special where he did 30 days of Godzilla, 31 days of Godzilla, because we did it straight through October. And listening to him go on to the profound history that is Godzilla was something really, really special. It was something else. I miss those days. Hopefully I'll be able to start doing stuff with some of the folks I used to do creation work with coming up soon. There's a lot we're trying to get going. And I'm going to toot my own horn, because she who tooteth not her own horn hath not her horn tooted. I have been invited to be the resident folklore person for What's in the Podcast. So I am going to be appearing whenever they need to discuss folklore, occult history, magic in the modern and traditional sense, all that kind of stuff. So I'll kind of be an on-call talking head. Talking headless? I don't know. And I am more stoked about that than I can really put into words. I'm excited. Yeah, that tickles me no end. What's funny is I've kind of fallen into that because I've made a few appearances now on the Bitter Wolves shows, both in the Horror Mosaic and a couple of other series that he's done on the whole Bitter Wolf thing. I've been dropped into a couple other shows now just to like, hey, I know a folklore person, and it's not something that I went out and studied like, I'm going to study and become a folklorist. It's just something that I've been accruing this kind of information all my life just because it's a special interest. Thank you. I kind of accidentally qualified myself for this stuff, which I feel a little guilty about. I kind of hate. I don't really want to call myself a folklorist because I know people that do this for a living and put in 6+ years of post-secondary post-secondary education. Yeah. So I don't feel like that's my word. I don't feel like it's a word that I've earned, but it is nice to be a go-to person for folklore, if that makes any sense. So I have a blast doing all that. So just the fact that I get to do these kinds of things, either with articles I'm writing for the Patreon or for appearing on different podcasts, things like this, that all just tickles me. It really does delight me. All of that said, I've just recently met another folklore person here. Well, not met. We've been talking online and communicating through social media, that sort of thing. Named Danny Riggs, Dannee Riggs. I think this is her handle on most things. She is absolutely one of the best storytellers I've ever heard. She's got a fantastic voice. Her writing style is absolutely magical. It's enthralling. So watching her videos or listening to her audios are wonderful, wonderful things. And I like that we're starting to see POC voices in the folklore world getting more representation and more voice, and I want to kind of help support that. So definitely check them out. But just because they're a fantastic creator, they're absolutely a fantastic creator, and I really want to put her in front of more people as best I can, just because she's amazing and deserves it. But I bring her up because she's also a Philadelphia person. And because of some things that she's introduced me on, I'm going to be doing deeper dives and having some new Tombsday Times articles coming out for you over the next few months, starting with one about Philadelphia's Green Lady. So check that out. Again, I know you guys are on my Patreon already. Thank you. I can't thank you enough for that. You may not think your contribution makes a difference. It absolutely does. And not just I appreciate you kind of way, or that it's a tremendous amount of money kind of way. It's a matter of several times you've made sure that we stay fed. You've made sure that, whatever I have coming in from Patreon that week is going to cover a prescription that we need for Nerdwife. Or it may be, that's the reason we have pet food, or we have enough money to get bus fare to go run an errand we need to do. Things like this. So that, anybody clicking and reading and just dropping by is a help. But I can't stress how much of a difference that a $5 or $10 contribution a month makes, because that does, it saves us. So that's not a sob story. That's just a me being grateful kind of a situation. The impact you guys have is phenomenal. But anyway, I'm hoping to be able to spend more time talking with Danny Riggs in the next several months. I'd love to sit down for a podcast with her at some point. I'm hoping to be able to make that happen. But just thank you all for what you do. Thank you all for being willing to show up on a Saturday night with almost no notice. I didn't even have to get to put promo out until this morning for this episode. But it was nice to be able to sit down and actually knock things out and really make things work again. It's been great. So all of that, I've kept you guys here enough tonight. I know it's been a long week for everybody. Thank you all for being here. And stay tuned over the next couple of days. There will be a spare parts coming out for this that I'm going to be writing tomorrow. So that hopefully I'll have that by Monday or Tuesday at the latest. And if you're not familiar with spare parts is an extra that I put up on the Patreon, where I will do basically articles in a bit more depth and research on the history of the things that I show here. And Poe definitely deserves some of that. So until next time, folks, have a great time. Stay creepy. I love you all. And until then, I'll see you next Tombsday. Good night, children. Have a great night.
A Tombsday Toy Shop production.